Because you told me what the theme was.
Right, the theme is passion and purpose.
That's
right.
it.
So you can't lose with that song. Thank you, Gary.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Because we all have within us a beautiful quality of energy and joy that makes us unique in the world. Each of you is unique and has something to give. Whether you know that or not, you do. We were born with it, and as we rediscover our childlike enthusiasm for life, we then can reveal our God-given passion. So my talk today is passion and purpose. And in the Science of Mind magazine this month, that's all the articles are about that. So grab a copy of that. So a question many of us ask is, how do I find my purpose? Well, the answer is another question. What are you passionate about? They're linked, aren't they? Knowing where your enthusiasm lies helps discover your purpose. The dictionary definition of passion is a term used to denote strong and intractable or barely controllable emotion or inclination with respect to a particular person or a thing. And purpose, the noun definition of purpose, is the reason for which something is done or created. The verb is to have as one's intention or objective, your purpose. Ernest Holmes, the founder of the Science of Mind, defines purpose as determination with incentive. I kind of like that, which reminds me of gold nuggets. In our community here, we have what are called gold nuggets. So you can jot down a little something that sparks your imagination, that gives you a like, ah, yes, I want to remember that. And then we share it at the end of service. So as I mentioned, I just finished this class called The Journey of Soul. That was a book called The Magic of Soul by Patrick Harbula. And he says the expression of purpose through our life is possibly the highest aspect of the magic of the soul. Life purpose and soul purpose are synonymous. Think about that. When we embrace and empower our purpose through our careers or through all of our activities in life, a wide channel opens from the heart of the soul, and it allows magic to flow into our lives and those we touch. He says, try acting on the hypothesis that what makes you happy and fulfilled at a soul level is what brings you the most success. As you increase your ability to fulfill your purpose, your personality will change. Be careful. Because you will receive more light, and you will begin to radiate more light through the activities of what you do. Isn't that cool? I remember I was thinking, Rita's not here today, but when Rita first came to our community, we had a little circle after service about talking about spiritual mind treatment. And she was very new to Science of Mind. She didn't know what treatment was or anything, but I'll never forget, she looked at me and she looked at Reverend Meg and she said, I see something in both of your eyes, and I want that. There's something you all, I don't know what it is, but, and I was so touched by that, and she reminds me of that a lot now. That there's something about when we tap into our soul purpose, I believe, that we light up. You can't not help but light up, right? So when our soul purpose becomes aligned with and fully active in our daily activities, we also experience inner peace. We're not always trying to get something done. There's a sense of peace, and I see some of you nodding your heads. You get that? Yeah, it's like, I'm where I'm supposed to be. We become the soul working through the aligned personality. So Ernest Holmes said in this great book called The Thing Called You are a spontaneous, self-choosing center in life, in the great drama of being, the great joy of becoming, the certainty of eternal expansion. You could not ask for more, and more could not have been given. You are a spontaneous, self-choosing center in life. We're always a choice. We know that. So what if our purpose is to simply demonstrate the spiritual truth in how we live our life? Because I think purpose is lived from the inside out. The great Howard Thurman said, "Don't ask yourself what the world needs. Ask yourself what makes you come alive. Go do that. The world needs more people who have come alive." Yeah. So then passion. Passion is that fire within us that ignites our desires and fuels our purpose. Again, they're very much linked. Now, some people are not aware of their passion or dismiss the concept, believing, oh, I don't have one. Perhaps the word passion has become too elusive. So that it's said that one way to awaken our passion or discover it is to substitute the word joy. Joy. What brings you joy? Joy, that's her name. What brings you joy? Just think about that. What makes you smile? And it could be a simple thing. Being in nature, hearing a great song, holding your grandbabies, baking a cake. That's what that song was about. That's why I'm kidding. I'm not kidding. It was like totally what I'm talking about. And also think about, what did you want to be when you grew up? What did you want to be when you grew up? So when we think back to our early childhood experiences, and we remember what made your heart sing then, and if we spend some time reliving what we wanted to be when we grew up, but maybe we were told, oh, that's not possible. That's silly. That's going to be a waste of time. But using our imagination is important. Albert Einstein reminds us that imagination is more important than knowledge. So when we allow downtime through meditation or watching the clouds float by or sitting on the river, not thinking about much, it helps free some of the congestion that can block our passion. You know this, I know you know this, that many achievements and inventions came about as daydreams. Times when those people's minds were allowed to wander. Haven't you ever had, like in the shower, like all of a sudden an idea pops in? It's like, oh. I had one the other day. I was out on our deck doing some yoga in the morning and not really thinking about much. I was looking at the sky and I was thinking, wow, it's so blue. And this amazing idea just popped into my head. You need to contact this person and do this. And I was just like stunned, but it was so clear and so perfect. I wasn't even thinking anything near that. So sometimes when we just let our mind go. So I invite you today, and it's kind of hot today, but maybe go outside and sometime and look at the clouds or the stars at night is the other thing. To just open your mind. Oprah Winfrey, have you ever heard of her? She began play acting in front of an audience of farm animals when she was 2 years old. I just get goosebumps when I read that. She learned to read early on, and she wrote a letter to her teacher stating she should skip kindergarten and go right into first grade. And her request was honored. She recognized her potential early on. I have a similar story. I did dance plays in my basement when I was about 10. Nobody else was there, but I had a record player with Swan Lake, Tchaikovsky's Swan Lake. And at the time I was taking ballet classes with my best friend Jill. She was beautiful. She was very graceful. I was not. I was kind of gawky, and we had a very strict ballet teacher named Stanley Herbert, bless his heart. And he had a stick. And he would walk around, and we're all standing at the bar doing our little thing that we do. And I would get the stick all the time. On my hand, on my arm, on my neck, on my back. So I wasn't holding myself properly. Jill never got the stick. Well, I continued. That didn't dissuade me from continuing studying dance, which I did through my whole career. And I ended up being the artistic director and choreographer of my own contemporary dance company. that toured the world. But I was that little girl in my basement, pretending I had an audience. And then now, I'm up on this kind of stage, platform, as a minister and a choreographer of talks. Go figure. I never saw myself here, but something led me to this place. I mean, who would have thought? How about you? How about you? What did you do as a young one that you see yourself now kind of playing out in it, maybe a different way? Because when our passion and purpose align, we're grounded in that power of joy and love. And then we manifest whatever it is we need or want with ease and grace. Yeah. So I invite you maybe after service to talk to somebody maybe that you don't know and find out, what did you do as a kid? And is it manifesting in your life right now? How is it showing up? Kind of share those stories. They're really fun stories. Yeah. So the life coach Kevin Cashman has 3 G's to help realize a purpose-driven life. What are your gifts that energize you? What do you desire to give? And what do you need to grow? Your gifts, your giving, and your growing. Because we never stop learning or giving or growing. And our answers can reveal how spirit can more fully manifest itself in our life purpose and our divine destiny. I reclaim my inner joy and passion and move with purpose. That's an affirmation I came up with. So I'm going to invite you to say this after me. I reclaim my inner joy and passion.
I reclaim my inner joy and passion.
And move with purpose.
And move with purpose.
So I'm going to lead you into a little fun process from Patrick Harbula's book as well. So I invite you again to just take a moment and go within. Take a deep breath. And again, we're going to use our imagination, which is a great tool of the mind, a pearl of great price. So I invite you to think of a time in your life when you were working, living, playing at a very high level of potential. Just inspire that memory right now. A time when you felt delighted with your efforts, your creativity flowed, you had complete confidence in your ability, that you felt a sense of mastery over what you were doing in some activity or service. Just bring it to mind. And remember exactly how you felt. Relive that experience right now, as if it were happening. Use all of your senses in your rediscovery of that moment, that happening, when you were just on it. Feel all the feelings associated with this. Feel the energy in your body as if it's happening now. Yeah. What were you doing? Who were you with? What did it feel like? Come on, bring it up. Just bring it in your mind. Be there, now. Good, very good. Now, from here, I want you to imagine yourself at some point in the future fulfilling your purpose at the highest level possible. So you're going to formulate a vision. So I want you to take the energy and the feeling from that memory you just had and just project it into the future. Just project it. Magnify the energy and feeling and see what emerges. What are you doing now? Who are you with? What does it feel like? Where are you? See the scene unfolding around you in your mind's eye in the future, taking that energy that you had back then and projecting it. Wow, are you doing something different? Feel the energy in your body as though it were occurring at this very moment. Integrate that feeling of love, joy, power, appreciation. Good. Very good. Take a breath. And even if you didn't have a clear picture, it doesn't matter. But ask yourself these questions. Is there a common theme in the memory and the new vision? There may or may not be. In any case, what does that say about my soul purpose? What do I love to do? What do I love to do that makes the world a better place? And you can come back and open your eyes. So this is another thing you can share with someone after service in fellowship, is to, what vision did you have? Are you doing that now, or did you see something that's going to be new for you, new and exciting? Because we're always in that sense of expansion when we come from our soul and our spirit. Ernest said, life will be to you what you are to it. Somehow you must link your will, your thought, your intellect, your imagination, and your feeling with the divine presence which is already there. That's why we do spiritual practice. To keep opening to that divine urge that's always there. So the great Dennis Merritt Jones, another author, said we always serve our purpose. The only question is, do you know it, and are we finding meaning, fulfillment, and joy in our daily lives? He says we are a collective of souls awakening. We are spiritual beings beginning to remember where we came from, who we are, and why we have come. Because we've received the gift of life as human beings, we are already fulfilling our purpose on the planet. Just by being who you are. But how do we know when we're living on purpose? Again, passion points the way to that which is ours to do. And passion is that intensified energy surge that passes through us seeking expression. Knowing what is ours to do becomes easier when we live closer to purpose, because passion will always be front and center and point the way to our joy-filled life. So again, what brings you joy? It's as simple as that. And the cool thing is, when we are aware of our soul's purpose, our doing and our being merges effortlessly. Dennis Merritt Jones says, the irony is that every human being's purpose is identical. Being the living spirit of God, uniquely manifesting in the human condition. Yet, how we choose to express our purpose is different, right? So again, if we pay close attention to what brings joy, meaning, and passion to our minds and hearts, then we're consciously honoring our reason and purpose for this thing called life. Be mindfully aware of who you are, and more so, why you are. Celebrate and honor your passion, your purpose, your gratitude. Remember, the life you call your own is connected to the divine, always. And contained within that life, as I said at the beginning, is the gift of purpose that only you can bring, that no one else can. You are unique, individualized expressions of God. Let's breathe that in. You are of divine importance. I've said that many Sundays. And so we relax into this. Let's take that into prayer. Let's take that knowing into our hearts again, our consciousness. Remembering that with love consciousness, with God consciousness, all things are possible. And so we reconnect to that power and presence within, that infinite intelligence that is always available. We simply tap in, plug in, reset, recharge, knowing that our passion and our purpose are linked. And from this moment on, we each step into a new expression of who we are. We shine our light with no fear, no hesitancy. Our light is bright. So I'm grateful today to know and hold that spiritual truth for each of you, that you are willing and able and receptive to shining that light in whatever way it is. You are such a gift and a blessing. So I bless each of you today into the rest of this week, knowing that something wonderful is happening, and that everything necessary to the full expression of your well-being, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, is already happening. We are stepping up. We're rising above, and we're claiming our passion and purpose for life. And so it is.
So it is.